Denny Hamlin has 61 Cup wins. He has 3 Daytona 500 trophies. He is the greatest NASCAR driver to never win a championship. And when NASCAR confirmed one of the biggest playoff changes in years this week, he had something to say about it. Not what you would expect. Not a celebration. Something much more honest and much more interesting than that. Here is what happened. Watkins Glen International is going back into the NASCAR playoffs. September 2027. Official. Track president Don Burlew made the announcement this weekend at a camper welcome event right there at the track, ahead of this year's races in New York. The fans in the campgrounds heard it first. The 2.45-mile road course in New York has hosted NASCAR since 1957. It is one of the oldest, most respected venues on the entire Cup schedule. Elevation changes, fast corners, heavy braking zones. It almost always produces a dramatic finish, and for years it was a playoff race, then it was not. To understand why this announcement is a big deal, you have to understand what happened to the race in the first place. For 2026, NASCAR made 2 major changes at the same time. First, they brought back the chase format, a 10-race playoff that decides the champion purely on points accumulated over the final stretch of the season. Second, they moved Watkins Glen off its traditional late summer date and dropped it onto the regular season calendar in May. Mother's Day weekend, fans were not happy. The complaints came fast. Weather in upstate New York in early May is nothing like August. The camping experience, which is a huge part of what makes Watkins Glen one of the most popular race weekends on the schedule, took a hit. People had booked travel and plans around the old date for years. The move created real problems for real fans, and the result of all that? 0 road courses in the 2026 playoffs. For the first time in years, the postseason was all oval, all the time. NASCAR heard the noise. They always do eventually. And now Watkins Glen is going back where most fans felt it belonged. But here is the part of this story that is not getting enough attention. When Watkins Glen goes back into the playoffs, something else comes out. The Charlotte Roval is finished. 8 years, 8 races. Done. The Roval launched in 2018 at Charlotte Motor Speedway. NASCAR built a 2.32-mile hybrid layout that combined the standard 1.5-mile oval with an infield road section. 17 turns. It was unlike anything else on the Cup schedule, and it quickly became one of the most chaotic elimination races in playoff history. Chase Elliott won it twice. Kyle Larson won it twice. Shane Van Gisbergen won the most recent edition. A.J. Allmendinger made the Roval his personal playground, winning 4 times there in the O'Reilly Series and once in the Cup. For 8 seasons, races at the Roval regularly decided which drivers survived and which drivers went home. And now it is gone. Charlotte is going back to the 1.5-mile oval for its fall playoff race. Speedway Motorsports CEO Marcus Smith said it plainly. The Roval did its job when fans wanted road course variety in the playoffs. Now the energy is around oval racing and what the current car does best. NASCAR President Steve O'Donnell backed the decision publicly. Dale Earnhardt Jr. put it simply on social media. He said the oval has been solid recently, and there is no reason not to take advantage of that. So one road course playoff race goes out, one comes back in, and Denny Hamlin, who had a front row seat to all of it, was asked what he thinks. He did not give you a clean, polished answer. He gave you the truth. It's okay, he said when asked about Watkins Glen returning to the playoff schedule. Generally, I'm going to favor having fewer road courses on the schedule. Part of that might be because of my performance, if I'm being biased, but I also don't think the racing on road courses in these cars is as exciting as it is on ovals. Read that again. He admitted the bias. He said outright that his own road course results might be coloring his opinion. That is not something most drivers say publicly. Most drivers give you the careful, diplomatic version. Hamlin gave you the real one, and then he acknowledged why NASCAR made the move. I understood there was going to be some pushback this year with no road course on the schedule, so I knew that was coming. I'm fine with Watkins Glen being on it. Fine. Not thrilled. Fine. Now here is where the opinion gets interesting, because Hamlin's second point is not about him. it is about the car. The next-gen car launched in 2022. NASCAR built it from the ground up to create closer racing and reduce the gap between big-budget and small-budget teams. On ovals, especially the 1.5-mile intermediate tracks that dominate the schedule, it worked. The racing got better. Passes became more common. Points leaders changed hands later in races than they used to. On road courses, the story was different. Teams and drivers noticed almost immediately that the next-gen car did not feel the same on road layouts. The handling characteristics that made it exciting on ovals created different problems on circuits where braking, corner entry, and mechanical grip matter more than drafting and aerodynamics. Multiple teams flagged it. Multiple drivers said it quietly in interviews. Hamlin said it loudly this weekend, and he is not wrong to raise it. Look at who wins road course races in the next-gen era. Shane Van Gisbergen has 7 Career Cup wins. Every single one of them has come on a road course or a street circuit. He is one of the best road course drivers on the planet, and the current car plays directly to that strength. Meanwhile, the drivers who dominate ovals all season often fade on road courses. The skill set does not transfer the same way it did with older car generations. That brings up the real tension sitting underneath all of this. The reason NASCAR removed all road courses from the 2026 playoffs was, at least in part, a direct response to a specific reality in the sport. Road course specialists could win their way into the postseason and survive deep into it even when their overall season was inconsistent. Van Gisbergen won the Charlotte Roval in 2025. He survived the round of 16. Then he was eliminated in the round of 8. A driver who won one of the most important playoff races of the year was gone 4 races later. The new points-based chase format does not reward one-race specialists the same way. You need consistent results across the whole playoff window. A single brilliant road course performance does not guarantee you advance. And now, with Watkins Glen back in September 2027, road course ability will once again play a role at the exact moment the playoff pressure is highest. Van Gisbergen will have a target race. Drivers like him will circle that date on the calendar. Hamlin knows this. That is part of why his reaction landed the way it did. Here is the layer that nobody is talking about enough. 2027 is widely expected to be Denny Hamlin's last full-time Cup season. He told Joe Gibbs Racing earlier this year. He made it clear he does not want an extended farewell tour. He wants to win races and chase his first championship before walking away. That is the focus. He currently sits second in the 2026 Cup standings with 438 points, 129 points behind Tyler Reddick. He won at Las Vegas in March, his second consecutive victory at that track. He finished the 2025 season as championship runner-up. He is still a genuine title contender every single year, and now, in what may be his final championship push, Watkins Glen will be a playoff race, a road course, in the playoffs in 2027. In what Denny Hamlin has basically told the world will be his last shot, he is fine with it. His words, not excited. Fine. That is either the most composed reaction you will ever hear from a driver who just found out his least favorite race type is going to be in his final playoff run, or it is a man who has made peace with the hand he has been dealt and plans to figure it out anyway. Hamlin said himself he is trying new techniques on road courses. He joked earlier this season that his strategy on road circuits is to spend as little time on them as possible. Then he turned serious and said it is a work in progress and he has nothing to lose. That is not the sound of someone who is giving up on road courses. That is someone who is already working on the problem. So, let us bring this back to where we started. Denny Hamlin reacted to Watkins Glen returning to the NASCAR playoffs. He said he prefers fewer road courses. He said the next-gen car makes better racing on ovals. He admitted his own performance might be part of why he feels that way, and he said he is fine with the change, one of the most honest reactions you will hear from any driver on any topic all season. The Charlotte Roval had 8 years. It shaped playoff races, it created chaos, it sent drivers home, now it is done. And Watkins Glen is back in September 2027. right in the middle of what Denny Hamlin has quietly told the world could be his final run at the one thing he has never been able to win. Denny Hamlin reacted to Watkins Glen returning to the playoffs. And now you know exactly what he said, why he said it, and why it matters a lot more than the headline suggests.